Are we live yet?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
You gotta hit the button.
Which button? Should I just wait for people to join? I don't see anybody else dancing. Hey, hi. Oh, hi. Hey. Mic check. Nobody told me we're live. I see everyone commenting. 10 out of 10 experience. No sugar for Brian after 6. I haven't had sugar yet. Hey, how you guys doing? Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. Tuesday evening live stream. Ladies and gents, welcome on board. Hope you guys are excited. Tonight is going to be an extremely long night for us. We're going till midnight to ring in the HHN New Year. No, we already did that, didn't we?
I think so.
Yeah, we did that.
Deja vu.
Deja vu. Ladies and gents, how you guys doing? Today's going to be a fun one. We got a couple things to discuss today in the live. We got a little bit of a schedule, in a sense, because we are officially... Holy smokes. So let me say this. We're officially 2 days away from experiencing our first ever HHN Hollywood event ever. 2 days. Right now. 2 days from now, 48 hours, we will be walking into Universal Hollywood for the first time ever. Holy smokes.
I'm nervous.
I'm excited, guys.
When was the last time you went to a theme park and it was new?
2018.
Like you had never been there before.
2018, when I went to Disneyland.
Yeah. I think the last time I went to a theme park and it was the first time I had ever gone to that theme park was Dollywood.
Yeah, technically we went to the place up by your parents or whatever during Christmas in 2021.
Oh yeah, we did do that.
Still technically a theme park.
Technically. We went to Six Flags, but it was for...
Six Flags. I thought it was Carowinds or King's
Island.
King's Island, yes.
They were like all the same.
Anyways, back on the topic.
It was for like their Christmas thing. So we didn't do like any of the rides. It was literally like 10 degrees out. So if you did any coasters, you would freeze your face off.
Yes.
So none of the rides were open. It was just like lights and Christmassy
Everyone's
things.
like, King's Island is not a theme park.
Oh, it is.
Have you guys went on to Lil Boo's haunted little ride?
It's a, what do they call them?
It doesn't matter. It's a park, guys. You get what we're talking about.
What do they call them, though? Oh, Joe said yo.
Yo! Joe! How you doing, Joe?
Amusement park, yes.
Yo.
Because it's not themed.
Yeah, anyways.
Would you say Dollywood is a theme park thing? Because that has a theme.
Welcome to tonight's live stream where we talk about theme parks and amusement parks and where the fine line is between them. Anyways, like we were saying though, 2 days from now, 48 hours, we are going to be going through the arches at Universal Hollywood for the first time ever. And it's crazy to think because we've never been to Universal Hollywood ever before. Never been to it. And we're going to be able to go and experience HHN Hollywood for the first time, which is going to be remarkable. We're really excited for this. But at the same time, it hasn't really got into my head yet that we're going to HHN Hollywood in 2 days, because in 2 days is when we fly out. So I'm just thinking, we fly out there. But the day we fly out and land, we're going straight there to experience HHN Hollywood. I kid you not. It is 8:44 here on the East Coast. It's 5:44 out on the West Coast. And we got the Scream their early entry ticket for 5:30 access, which is 48 hours away.
I think that's like the thing I'm most nervous for is, first of all, getting everything done, but mostly not getting tired, because like Brian can stay up till like 4 a.m. and he's fine. So he'll be fine staying up till 2 a.m. out there. But I'm like, 10 a.m. is my bed, or 10 a.m., 10 p.m. is my bedtime. Like, that's like the cutoff. I start to get cranky after that. So I'm really nervous about staying up that late.
I'm fine.
That's going to be rough.
I'm ready. Let me tell you, listen. The number one thing that I'm excited about going to HHN Hollywood is to be able to see Universal for the first time and to see the mountains and the weather and stuff. That's really what I'm excited to see. But what I'm hoping for, and if anybody is a scare actor on the West Coast that is watching us right now, I just want energy. I want raw, complete energy. I don't care what the houses look like. I don't care what the scare zones look like. I don't care what the food tastes like. I want scare actors to get up in my face. I want people to try to scare me as badly as they can, because that's what I want. I want to walk out of that event going, wow, I want to hire those people to be on my movie. I want to hire those people to work at HHN Orlando. Like, that's what I'm wanting, because that's what I'm hearing. Every time we talk about HHN Hollywood, it's rare on this channel, but when we do, and from what we've heard from people, is that these scare actors out there, they really are aggressive. And if you guys know me, what I love about the houses here, when the scare actors get into their form and they're being aggressive, that's what excites me about the houses here. So I'm really hoping that we get to see that in Hollywood this year.
Yeah. I was watching like walkthroughs of houses from previous years. I haven't watched any of the walkthroughs from this year just because I want it to be a surprise, but I was watching old walkthroughs yesterday while I was working, and you can definitely tell like the scare actors just like they're there to like try to scare you as much as it can.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited.
Also, I forgot to mention tonight's live stream. So we're going to talk about HHN Hollywood, which is very rare on this channel, but we're going to discuss HHN Hollywood. Obviously, if you guys haven't figured it out, we are going to HHN Hollywood starting Thursday. We'll be out there. Yes, we are. So that might be new for you. But on the West Coast, we'll be out there Thursday and Friday to experience HHN Hollywood. Super excited for that. So we're going to be discussing that in tonight's live stream for some time. Whether it's the first half or the second half, I don't know yet, because we are also going to be discussing the HHN houses here in Orlando. Our last live stream we did Saturday night. If you guys were here, by the way, shout out to you guys for rejoining us here for tonight's stream. But we discussed our updated rank list for the houses. And then what we decided to do with you guys is to save it for tonight's live stream, where we can discuss some improvements that we would like to see for some of the houses and some things that we generally do like to see that they already implemented for the houses. So my question to you guys is, would you guys like the Hollywood aspect to be before Orlando's portion, or would you like the Hollywood portion to be after Orlando's segment? So we can have the first part, or the first half of the live stream, be Orlando, and then the second half be Hollywood, and finish it off with the Hollywood touch, or we go ahead and kick it off with Hollywood and then dive into Orlando for the later touch. So let us know which one you guys want to start with. Let us know. Spam in the chat Orlando if you want to start with Orlando, and spam in the chat Hollywood if you guys want to start with Hollywood. While you guys are spamming all that, bring up our man HK Grinch Sniper saying, can't believe next week I'm finally back at HHN. Been waiting and watching all of your videos for a whole year. Hopefully you guys are there next weekend. First of all, shout out to you for being a part of the Fright Club for 1 month. But are we talking HHN Orlando or Hollywood? Because we'll be in Hollywood next weekend. Unfortunately, we won't be here. This coming weekend. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, it's
next
Tuesday.
weekend.
That's right.
We'll be back in Orlando.
Yes. What she said.
If we're not totally wiped out from our trip, we will be there.
Right. And I know even in the Saturday live stream, we also had people, I'm seeing people message about it, but we had people at HHN watching our live stream while they were at the event on Saturday. Mm-hmm. And somebody followed us from over, like, seeing one of you guys. I can't remember who was watching it in line. Followed us and like reached out and sent me a comment about it and stuff. So I was like,
really?
Hey, yeah, shout out to whoever you were. I can't remember the name of the person, but
that's cool.
That was awesome. Appreciate that. But let's see, we got
everybody said Orlando except Chris said Hollywood about 100 times.
Yeah, but Chris would need to probably say Hollywood 200 times for us to count it as one vote, right? Is that how it works with this guy? What's the rules and terms and the policies between Brian from Orlando and Chris does things? Mm-hmm. We have to update our terms with him, terms and conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I think it's a no contact.
Oh, no contact? But we broke that. It was supposed to be 5-year no contact. Okay, so anyways, I think we're going to go ahead and do Orlando first because everybody beat Chris to the comments. But before we do, we need to bring this gentleman up. Brian Sevilla. That's a cool name, by the way.
It's not correctly. Brian Robinson, though.
Well, we're getting there. Most important tip, set your alarm for 6:30 p.m. if you are not going to get through a house in the next 10 minutes. Bail and head to Hogwarts. They release you to Chucky and Unmasked at 6:45 p.m. You will do both by 7:30. It's a good tip. And here's the thing, too. First of all, Brian, thanks for the 10. You're welcome, Brian. Anytime, Brian. Okay, so anyways, thanks for the 10, Brian. But I will say, because we're going to do Hollywood in the second portion, any of you guys on the West Coast, stick around for the end of the stream or that second portion because we're going to need y'all's help. Steph and I are very terrible. We talk about like getting together with scheduling and planning, and then we just turn around and go do our own things.
We haven't planned a trip to a theme park in a very long time because we normally just show up. Like we don't really plan things out. So this is kind of a new territory for us.
We don't really plan things because we live here.
Exactly.
So it's like we just show up, just like Steph said. But going to a brand new theme park we have never been to with an event we've never experienced, we still haven't planned it out. And it's less than 48 hours until we started off.
We're gonna do it on the airplane.
We're going to do it tonight, right here with them.
Okay.
With our folks out in the West Coast. We can use y'all's help. Send us all the tips that you guys can. So that'll be in the second portion after we get done with the Orlando portion. And then we'll close off tonight's live stream with the Hollywood segment as we farewell to all of you guys. Pack our bags and get ready to leave. 2 tickets to Horror Nights. Pack your bags, we leave in 2 nights.
The day after tomorrow or whatever Michael says in The Office.
You might have to bring that episode back up for me.
Someone will get it.
Somebody will get the Office reference. But Brian, thanks for the 10, my man. Appreciate it.
What time are we going to be doing the Hollywood segment? Oh, I don't know.
How about this? We are at 20 minutes right now, right? 20 minutes in the live stream. It is 8:52. I would say an hour into the live stream at 9:30, we'll probably hop over into the Hollywood segment. So I would say by about 9:20, 9:30 will be Hollywood segment start time. So somebody keep me on to that. Your job. All right, good.
Cool.
Who's got the job? Did anybody take it?
I'm sure Zach will remind you.
Perfect.
If he's still here.
Yeah, right. There we go. All right. So anyways, Hollywood will be around 9:50 or 9:20, 9:30. We'll discuss that and get into kind of making our plans, discussing what we have with that, and then just talking about the event in general. However, for now, we want to go ahead and dive into kind of the discussion we had last Saturday, which was 3 days ago, basically, and pick up that live stream that we left off with the ranks of our house, what we had, the ranking list, and then kind of discuss to the reasons why those houses were specifically in such lists and what we can improve on, especially with the lower tiered houses that we have. So I can't really remember exactly what our rank was. If you guys remember it, let us know in the chat what that rank was exactly. But I know for a fact number 10 was Chucky.
Yes.
Right? Now, I do want to know, anybody here watching us currently, did you guys see the video that Halloween Horror Nights released that we talked about in Saturday night's live stream? I want to see a list of people here. If you guys saw that live stream, just let us know in the chat. Saw it.
It was like a round table with the creators.
Yeah. So we got Benny Bob. Benny Bob said, got it. Excuse me. Chris Dustings, yes.
I don't like...
Chris, why? Because send me an individual message as to why. But yes, Javier, great video, 1 hour of the creators. Joe. Watched the first hour of it. Watched it today. There you go. Yeah. So we got a lot of people talking about. Okay, yeah. Cool.
So, it's cool. It's always fun to see their thought process behind everything and what they're most excited for, and also just to see their passion when they're talking about different things.
Yes.
And also Charles is hilarious.
I was about to say, Mike is great. Love Mike. Laura's fantastic. She's got energy. But Charles Gray could possibly be a stand-up comedian.
He's funny.
He's great. And it's like he's so serious about it sometimes too. And one thing too I remember is I really was wishing they paid homage to this back in 2018 when they did the first one ever, and the only one besides the one they just released. They said they were in Charles Gray
his
garage,
yeah.
right? In his garage. And I was hoping they would kind of continue that segment and stuff. But of course, Charles Gray has jokes and stuff, and he brought it to that roundtable discussion. That was great. And honestly, props, I got to say this, props to Horror Nights and Universal for putting that together. We have been asking for not just that type of content, but that exact type of content for a long time now. And, we got into discussing it closer to the event. We talked about the 2018 one, if you guys remember. And when we got the notification that came out, I was like, yes, finally. Thank you. Thank you, Halloween Horror Nights. Appreciate you. But I love that because not only, do we get to experience the houses and see everything, but you actually get the word from the creators themselves in a roundtable discussion, not like a one-on-one with the audience, but instead with themselves. They get to talk about it, and you get to see the perspective of how they are all involved on everything going on, but at the same time, they're also so separated from each other because of all the stuff they individually have going on. So it's really cool, especially one of my favorite segments on that video is when merchandise comes in to play, and they start to see the merchandise and stuff. And granted, all the merchandise is already currently out in the park because this year's video was after the event already started, where in 2018 the first one they did was before the event started, which I wish they would do that again because it's awesome. But it's cool to see like their excitement for the merch and like all that stuff because they never really get to see the process of it, but they're always working side by side and creating the entire event. And it's like what I told you guys in Saturday.
And one thing that was different this year than the previous one that they did for, 2018, was they brought the creative people behind the tribute store. And they talked about like how they came up with the theme for the tribute store and all of that, which was really cool because we really like the theme for the tribute store this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the tribute store, that segment was great.
Yeah.
It was. And not to put any shade on the gentleman that was in that segment, but when he came to the screen, I was like, it makes sense why we're doing comic books because he looks like somebody who's into comic books, and I love that. And here's the thing, you guys, I know, and you guys might be like, oh, Brian, it's like, no, I want them finding people who have the passion towards the subject they're working on. And when I look at like Mike and Laura and Sauls and Charles, like you can see that these are people that are passionate about the subject they're in. It's not just people who are hired.
Laura did say that she wasn't into horror before.
Yeah, she's not into horror, but she's horror. She's horror. She is horror, but she is into like the creation, the creativity and the production of it. So she doesn't have to be like a horror fan, kind of like me, where I'm not so much horror, but I just love the creation of it and the team. So it's really cool. It's really cool. But
with that said, that's
the video, right? So into the list that we had with number 10, we had Chucky, and they did discuss Chucky in the video. And of course, we had the Universal podcast episode where it was, or not really, was there a Universal podcast, Discover Universal podcast about Chucky? Or
it was within the all the IPs. They talked about all the IPs.
Okay. So there is, of course, a background story for Chucky. However, though, when we went through the house, it's one of those houses where we're kind of like, did not like it. And a lot of people, they've told us their opinions and how they feel about it as well.
People are very split about this house.
Yes. And when you listen to the creators, they discuss the house itself. And, it takes me a second sometimes when I go through a house the first time, I may not like it right away, but it does build up over time. And I feel like this is one of those houses where I understand what they were going for, and you can see that, and they hit the mark on it, but it just didn't quite resonate with the audience as such. And to be honest, the idea that they have for Chucky is great. It is fantastic. But I said this a while ago, earlier this year in a live stream, where I was hoping for Chucky to be in a soundstage so that idea could really be pulled off. where in the Fast and Furious location, it's just a hard location to really create a house. I think it's probably the more, oh yeah, it's tiny, but it's also probably the most difficult spot when it comes to the creation of these houses when it's put in Fast and Furious location. So Steph and I were discussing this some time ago, and then this video came out from Horror Nights, and we were kind of thinking about it. It's like we want to discuss with our viewers, with you guys, what are some things we can, like we think, at least our personal opinions, that we can improve on with these houses, and whether those would work or not. If you guys have suggestions and stuff, just to kind of see what we can brainstorm and put out there. Obviously, they're probably never going to be HHN quality. It's hard to make these houses and come up with these ideas and put it together. These are just kind of us spitballing some ideas. Yeah. And to be honest, I want to start with you, Steph, with one of the ideas you came up with for the house with the ending of the first segment.
So I kind of wish that the Chucky house like went a little bit more like off the deep end with the whole like meta thing. So I was telling Brian that I think it would have been really funny if like when you're going past the merchandise, also spoilers for the house, when you're going past the
you're spoiling things,
the merchandise section, if they had like, of course that room is pretty small, so you would need a bigger room for this, but if they had like literally a checkout counter and one of the scare actors is somebody like selling merchandise, and then like a Chucky pops out and like attacks that person, and then I would love to see like more of the like house attendants as like scare actors.
Yes.
There's like, I think there's one that's like already like dead on the floor when you first walk in, but it's very easy to miss. And Is it
on the left as soon as you walk in?
Yeah.
I never looked that way because everyone's looking at the Chucky doll to the right.
The only time I saw it was when we did the Unmasking the Horror Tour.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which, by the way, do it if you can. It's awesome because you get to see details like that you will probably miss on the walkthroughs.
Yeah, kind of like what South were just saying. Like, it should have been like kind of unfinished. Like, they were like in the middle of doing it, and then he came in and like made it his own, which I know he kind of does, but it just like it needs to almost like hold your hand a little bit more through that storyline, because it's easy to miss that that's what's going on. And if you don't like really look for that storyline, it can be a little confusing, like what is happening here.
Especially for those who don't get so into detail like all of us, where we're listening to the podcast, we're reading the backstories, we're going through the houses multiple times, where we know the storyline. Some of the people who do go for the first time, and they may not know so much of the background research that gets involved with it, then they get to go through it and they're kind of like, if they are trying to put together that storyline, it's really not so much there. It's just kind of like a display of Chucky, which I know they were trying to do that, and they do. Like, that's the thing, they do pull it off in a somewhat of a sense. But what I was really hoping for is if they were going to dive into this meta type of idea. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing that I think of with Bugs, and I kind of briefly mentioned this Saturday, where I was really hoping they fully committed. And it, to them, they probably did. But, from my perspective on it, like I said, this is all opinions and stuff. The way I looked at it is I really wish they would have really dove into this whole meta thing a little bit more, where having more of those, like the house ops with the staff shirts, like have them be one of the scare actors that jump out, or even they're around the corner and they're telling people to keep moving, and a Chucky doll comes and grabs them in. Yeah, so you can't, as the audience, tell if the next house ops person you see is a scare actor or not. Now, that could be a logistic nightmare, technically, but
it would be fun. I was telling Brian that when we were watching this and we were talking about the Chucky house, I was telling him I wish that when you ended that first room, or the first house, because there's like two, and then there's that middle part that's like outside. I wish when you came out of that first one, it was like, that's the end. It literally looks like the end of one of the houses. And there's like a house ops person standing there, like directing you out, like, thanks for like coming through the house, whatever, have a good night. And then like a Chucky comes out and attacks that person. Yeah. And then like maybe as you're like walking through and you're exiting, then you have like one of the people that's like with Chucky, or you know how he in what is it called, in the scare zone that he did, and he would like possess the people like to like do his bidding for him. You'd have like one of them come and like tell you like, okay, you're going into this section now, and this is like where he's gonna kill you, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I like that.
Instead of it just being like,
it's
here's
just
another
him.
room.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
It just like seems kind of like, what was the point of this section?
Mm-hmm.
Which I know there really isn't a point of that section. It's just something that they have to work with, having that big open section. But like, try to make that part of the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I agree with that. I have to bring this guy up here.
Yeah.
This is probably the biggest fan of Chucky I can find on the internet, and we invited him to tonight's live stream. Mr. Jim Daniels, best ending would be Dr. Oddfellow killing up Chucky at the beginning of the house. The best ending would be the beginning of the house just ending. I know Jim just does not like
not a big fan
Chucky at all.
Of the Chuck.
The Chuck, yeah. Don't with the Chuck. Honestly, that's probably the best thing of that house is when he's like, don't with the Chuck. I need to get a bleep sound so I can.
I think there are so many things in that house that, and oh yeah, go ahead.
No, just thank you, Jim.
Sorry, got sidetracked. Thank you, Jim.
We appreciate you.
We do.
That's too much.
Yeah,
you're too
you're
kind.
done.
You're always too kind.
You're
Stop.
cut off.
Stop being kind, folks. Be mean. That's today's motto. We're gonna be mean with each other.
Okay.
All right.
But I feel like sometimes with the campy houses, it can be really easy to miss the actual campiness of it. It's really easy to miss the triggers when you're only going through one or two times. Like when we were going through Chucky the last time we did it, I caught a trigger that is actually really funny that I never would have caught if we didn't do Unmasking the Horror, because when we were going through it, they pointed out, David pointed out the Chucky that is like all buff and he has like the cutoff shirt.
That's kind of cool.
And I thought that was funny. So then when we were going through that section of the house the second time, I looked for him, and he literally, like, the trigger is literally like, I never skip arm day. And I was like, that's hilarious. But
I never skip arm day.
I didn't hear that the first time we went through. And I probably wouldn't have heard it if I wasn't looking for it specifically. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it can be hard with those, like, funny houses to, like, catch the actual funniness.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much going on.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, sights, sounds, sometimes the smells in the house. It is hard to kind of catch up on some of those details. So when you get a second to actually look into it and stuff, it's nice.
Yeah, and there is a guest activated trigger in that house. I think, yeah, it's in the like Christmas section. It makes the like fireplace smoke, like smoke or something. Oh.
I honestly still have not seen it, even though people have told me so many times. We've gone through Chucky, what, twice only?
Twice.
Yeah. Even the Unmasking the Horror tour technically makes it 3 times, and I didn't even see it. I don't know what I was doing during that house.
I saw it in the Unmasking the Horror tour, but
I think I was just like, all right, cool, next house. I want to go to Dragons.
Yeah.
So there's things with Chucky that we discussed like that could really like get you more involved into it versus just the TVs that they had, which I thought was great. But I just think it could have been a little bit more in that, like really diving into it. Like like when they look at it, like let's go full meta with the story, and then once they write that story, all right, let's go full meta now. Yeah. Right? Like that's just like the template. How can we elevate that even more? And I think adding those details that Steph really touched on and one that I mentioned could make that just a little bit more than what it is.
Like I said, it's hard to catch all of that and a whole storyline and the like funny triggers and all of that when you're going through and you're being pushed through, essentially. Like you're not stopping to look at everything. And even when we went through Unmasking the Horror, they said there was one scare actor that comes out, and I don't even know, I don't remember the actor's name, but the scare actor, like the trigger is literally like, I'm not even so-and-so, whatever the actor's name is.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I didn't even hear that when we went through the house.
Yeah.
Because there's so much going on. You like miss all of the like the storyline and those funny things that sometimes it makes like those campy houses like hard to really hit.
Yeah. Also, I need to go back here. I got to see if anybody had suggestions on what they would have done with the Chucky house.
Also, I did see Brian said the Chucky house out in Hollywood is really popular.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing, that the Chucky house out there is actually pretty successful. So
we will see.
Yeah, I'll have to see how that is.
The only one I saw was Southridge, where they said the second half of the house should have been unfinished. I do agree that
it does feel like that though.
But
right?
I don't know if it's just because we haven't watched the show, but that second part like really confuses me because it is like just the show. So to me, it almost feels like that second part, they kind of got rid of the whole meta thing.
It does feel like that in a sense, yeah.
And it's
because
just like
it's
now
really
this
focused
is just
on
the show
piece and stuff. But it's one of those like they were trying to create it to show all forms of content Chucky wise.
I guess.
And that's the house, but then he takes over. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It just makes it a little more confusing.
Yeah, I wish what they would have done is if they were doing the Chucky house and they wanted to do this meta idea, they would have done it like they were creating a Chucky themed house, but it was an original house concept. It doesn't have to do anything with the show or his past like movies and stuff that he's been in. It's like just a created house that Horror Nights was putting together, and it was going to be a low budget thing. And he comes in and he's like pissed about it. He's like, this sucks, blah blah blah. So he starts adding things, doing this real kills and all that kind of stuff, and they play with it being meta in that version versus having them saying we're creating a Chucky house for Chucky, and it's going to show his movies that he's done, his shows that he's done, and then we're going to make it meta because we go through it and then we see things that are the show, and we're kind of like we want just the meta and not like aspects.
And I mean, it's a tough concept to actually like put into practice because like think about it, like it is still just a haunted house. Like you can't actually kill people, so it makes it hard to like get that story across because because they are still just scare actors, So it's a tough like thing that they decided to take on, but I don't know. I know somebody said that they should have kept the meta idea for a Scream house, which would have loved that, but I don't know if we'll ever get Scream.
I don't know about Scream. I mean, if we do, here's a question. If we did get Scream, would you want it to be a meta house or just Scream?
Right.
Because I feel like just Scream, the original, or the first one as a house would be fantastic. But then imagine if it was kind of meta in a sense where like Ghostface is actually there in the house and you can't tell which Ghostface is the killer
but
or
see,
not.
Again, it just makes it like they're still just scare actors. So it's like none of them are the real one because
you don't want anyone to be the real one. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I get it. All right. Well, there you go.
It makes it hard. Yeah.
I like the idea of it. I just feel like there need to be a slight adjustment for the full execution of it to be proper.
It's tough because it's not like a TV show where they can actually like break the fourth wall.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, I don't know. Anyway.
That would be hard. Like how could you create that? What I was really hoping, and I saw, I think Chris Dustings kind of mentioned this, where he talked about the Chucky being from the 2018 Scare Zone, being in the house kind of deal. What I was really hoping was that when you exited the house, there's a lot of space on the left going through Fast and Furious. They had like the Chucky Booth doll from 2018, where he comes up and he like insults people as they walk by. That could be a logistic issue, obviously, for people wanting to take photos and videos of it. But that could have been really cool, or even at the front of the house in a sense. But that would have been really neat to see that Chucky doll like at the exit, or even I would say not even at the exit, but where the entrance to the house is, off to the side, have that booth there where he's insulting people coming into the house and stuff to get you ready for the house, and then you have him on the TVs as you go through and all.
I saw people saying too that I think Robbie said it, that it would have made sense to have like the big Chucky character that's in the video that you're watching in the house.
No, he was. Yeah, he was.
I don't think he has the head on though.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. Oh, so for those of you that are wondering, that video that you see where it's the big Chucky doll and then he gets stabbed and all, when you do that transition from the first part of the house to the second part, the scare actor on the stairs, that is that character, because the Chucky doll head is actually on the floor on the stairs where you see the knife through the head and all. That's what I'm assuming is that person. Yeah,
but spoiler, I think in Hollywood they have this character with the head on.
Yeah.
It's just like you can't. One thing that I do like about that house is the scare that, I won't say it, but the scare that you see on the left when you go into the second room, that's the little like conveyor belt one. I like that one because we didn't see that the first time. The second time we went through, she was there, and the sounding and the timing of the scare actor and like, this is obviously some spoilers for you guys, but with the knife was perfectly timed. She did it perfectly executed. Not where she's like holding this. She was actually fully out, but the way she had it, she was blocking the knife from view. Yeah.
So she was doing that, and then when she would get stabbed, she'd open up and she thrusted herself forward, looking like she did get stabbed. It was actually very well executed by the scare actor.
I wasn't going to spoil it, but
I got excited. I have to say that.
I was just really going to say that, like, you can't actually like stab a scare actor like over and over, right? But then I was like, well, they did that with her, which I thought that was done really, really well. So I wish they had more of that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Anyway, we just spent like half an hour on Chucky.
That's okay. We did. Steph and I had a segment before Saturday where we were talking about the houses, and we were watching that video, obviously, and just kind of discussing some of the things we wish would have been changed a little bit with the housing.
And there's going to be more. We have more to talk about with like our lowest houses, because there's more that we would have changed. Whereas like our top houses, we obviously don't really want. We don't have anything that we would really want to change. So.
Yep. So I think that's a good portion to talk about with Chucky.
Yes.
We spent a lot of time. We don't really talk about Chucky much, and I think that's the most we've ever given
Jim,
the killer doll.
You can come back. We're done talking about Chucky.
Yeah, sorry, Jim. We're done with Chucky now. So we got Chucky for the 10th. The 9th place house, I had Stranger Things, I think, still on the list. Is that the same way that you had yours?
I think so.
I think we agreed.
Unfortunately.
Right. And like we said, if you guys don't remember, last Saturday, the past Saturday, when we did this video and we talked about our ranking for the houses.
Oh yeah, Crystal said 10 minutes till HHN Hollywood.
Oh, smokes. Okay. Well, let's try to get this through quick then. The ranking on the house list and stuff, it's basically a podium tier. So you got 3rd place, 2nd place, and 1st place. I'd say the 10th house, being Chucky, is on the 3rd place podium. Mm-hmm. Almost to 2nd place podium is Stranger Things and Last of Us, and then the rest are like 2nd and 1st place, right? That's how close all of these houses are to us, but if you got to put them in order from 1st to 10th, that's what we did. But let's talk about Stranger Things real quick, since we're 10 minutes away from Hollywood discussions.
Okay, I like Stranger Things. I don't dislike the house. I enjoy going through it because it is Stranger Things, and because I like the trailer scene. There's a few other scenes that I enjoy, with like the bed or the mattress and the ceiling and all of that. Yeah, I like that you enter through like the trailer. I think that part is pretty cool. I don't love the section with the trees and the clock. The scare actor is so far away from you, it kind of makes it awkward.
Okay, let's talk about that scene real quick, because that is my number one scene that I would adjust out of all the scenes. That specific scene with the clock in the coffin or on top of the coffin, if they literally took that scene out, I would like the house a little bit more.
Well, and I don't know why they didn't do like what they have in Exorcist, or what they did with the first Stranger Things house, where you're actually like in the woods.
Yes, I will say, I don't know if this is true or not, but to me, this year's Stranger Things house feels like the shortest walkthrough compared to the previous 2 houses we got with them. I feel like this is the shortest house, and you know, I understand that they went through just following Vecna and Vecna's mind in a sense and doing that,
which I think is fine.
It's fine, yeah, because that was their objective, and they did that.
There's so much material in season 4 to go with that it makes sense to pick like one storyline to stick with.
I was going to dive into the wood scene, but I'll wait for a second because you brought that up. What I would have done for this house, this is what I would have done. If they were concerned with this house having so much with season 4, because there was so much, and they even talked about it in the video, like how do you put all of those scenes into the house and have it be kind of continuous with the story, right? Have it where somebody could see the beginning and the end, just like they did with this house, which was, you know, actually executed very well. But I would have loved for them to have this house in the soundstage by itself. It shares, what does it share with? Which house does it share with? Is it Exorcist it shares the soundstage with? Or Blood Moon?
Blood Moon.
It shares with Blood Moon?
Where's Exorcist then? Exorcist is there 3 in that one?
No, it shares with Blood Moon.
Mm-hmm. Blood Moon's enters on this side. Stranger Things enters right here. And then Exorcist is in the front. There's 3 in that one building.
Not in the one building, no.
Are you sure?
Yes. There's if you guys know, Blood Moon, is it in the same house or soundstage as Stranger Things? Yes, Blood Moon and Stranger Things, Javier said yes. Because when Blood Moon exits, Stranger Things is exiting right there. You go up the ramp, and then that building across is where Exorcist comes out.
Yeah.
Okay, so the what I would have loved is if Stranger Things was in the Exorcist spot where it had its own soundstage, so that they could have made it a bigger house and really like be able to play more into the storyline of what the season brought for season 4. I would have loved that. Absolutely loved that. But let's get back to that wood scene. It drives me nuts because they have that screen that's up, and David said what it was, the name of it. I think it was David who told us on the Unmasking the Horror Tour. Yeah, they have a name for that. Like a more technical name. No, it's something else. I can't remember.
I don't know.
But that scene though, right when you leave Max's trailer and you take a left, and you know Vecna's right there the first time that you see Vecna, and you come around and you got the coffin scene with the clock on it, and the one scare actor comes out. That screen thing, that script, whatever, that annoys me. It's so there's a distance of it behind the clock that doesn't feel real, and there's a spacing where, because it's a walk path, they can't really put anything on the walking path. Yeah, it just feels empty. That's what it really feels like. It's just nothing. There's no depth to it because it's a flat screen that goes across, so it doesn't give you that illusion like you're actually in the woods. Really, they could have just, honestly, instead of putting that screen, just put those black curtains that they have in the soundstage sometimes, just put it there and make it a dark scene. Because that, to me, it doesn't feel like the woods. It also, the screen itself looks faded to me. It seems like it's been used in years past and it's just been sitting out in the sun.
And then you immediately go from that into that one hallway where it looks like there's something in this hallway here.
To the right.
And it's just nothing.
That whole segment is nothing there.
But the curtains that are there make it so you can't even make out what that's supposed to be. So
it's the vault door.
Oh, okay. But it just like,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's just and you see, like even Robbie said that room just feels so empty, and it does because the scare actor, that trigger is loud and it does get people, but that scare actor, unfortunately, when that scare actor comes out, they only step out to the side and that's it. They don't really come at you. They're not really supposed to. It's not that character.
She has gotten me once or twice, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's loud in that spot, but they have her boo hole so far away from guest path that it makes that room even feel more empty. Like, I feel disconnected. If they had that boo hole closer up, it would have been a little bit more condensed, making that room feel more filled.
Yeah.
It's just a weird thing because when you walk in, here we go. When you first walk into that scene, guys, right? You have the coffin there with the clock, and then about 10 feet that way is where the scare actor comes out as I'm walking towards her location and going this way. So I'm not even going past her. I'm just brushing by. So that depth there, I wish they would have created more illusion and actually have trees and maybe a mirror, like some of the mirrors like they've had in Yeti, to create that depth sort of kind of vibe, like we're in the woods, and have her closer up to where it seems like it seems more intense.
Or even just put some fake trees in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Did they put all the trees in Yeti?
I guess.
And in Exorcist, they used too much trees?
I guess. I
So
don't know.
that room in general is the one thing that really bothers me with the
And then
house.
I don't like that you have like 3 more hallways that don't have,
Immediately after that.
and they don't, and it's not even that they don't have like a scare actor in them. There's no movement whatsoever.
Yeah,
Like
there's no
everything's
kinetics.
just static.
And that's the big thing, because I feel like the second portion of this house, the second half, is really good. I do like the second half.
Me too.
But the first half, it's a slow build. And maybe they were going with that because in the show, it is a slow build for us to get to know Vecna. You don't know him right away. You just know things are happening, but you don't really see it.
Yeah.
So much. It doesn't really get the storyline of understanding it until the second half. So I wonder if that's what they were going for. But, you have Eddie's trailer, you have the Christie scene, then you go outside of his trailer, which is now Max's trailer, and you have a little bit of her like little thing. You're going through, the victims, Chrissy, Max, I forget his name.
I think
Fred. And then we never go to Lover's Lake for the other kid that becomes a victim. We never went through there to see the 4 victims in a sense, which I was really hoping to see that. But it just feels like such a slow segment because the trailer, there's really nothing much except for, Eddie comes out and he's like, whatever, okay. And then Max comes out, and then you have Vecna, then you got the one character, and then it's nothing for a bit. Then we see the past, the Rainbow Room scene a bit, and then it starts picking up. Then we start going. So that whole segment, it's like, I wish they would have redid that, and I think Stranger Things would have sat higher up on my list.
Yeah, Theme Park Studios said they should have filled the empty hallways with the bodies from the opening scene of season 4. That's what I was hoping to see, was that opening scene, because that opening scene was actually like pretty scary.
Yeah.
And like gruesome for Stranger Things. Maybe they don't want like dead kids.
Well, I'll tell you what, Charles Gray said this in that show, in that roundtable discussion, that in the Yeti house, there's a specific scene that people like us aren't too happy to see in the campsite area. But it's like, obviously there are things they put out that audience may not like.
That's true, but dead children might be the line.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of dead children, but they could at least have the guards.
Yeah.
And not even show the kids the numbers and stuff.
Or even,
they could have had just the guards.
Or even like Brenner or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I honestly, Theme Park Studios brings a good point. I think that hallway scene, instead of having like 11, there in the static figure of her gaining her powers back, scrap that and let's put the flashback scene, let's make that longer with the finale of 11 and 1 fighting there in the Rainbow Room, and have it where we are going through and you hear the alarms or whatever it may be, and the bodies of the guards are lying around until you get up to 1 Henry there looking at you, and then you get into the 1 and 11 scene there. I think that would have been a better touch.
I will also play devil's advocate and say that sometimes in the houses, one thing that can happen is they have something planned for a specific area, and then for whatever reason, they get into the final stages of the house, they get into casting, whatever, and for some reason that thing doesn't work. And sometimes it leaves sections of the house just like not ending up exactly the way it was supposed to be, and sometimes it can make it feel a little like it feels like there should have been something here, Yeah. So I feel like maybe something like that happened. Maybe they had something planned for that section, and then maybe Netflix came back and said, no, we don't like that. So I feel like, especially with IPs, like we can say all day, like, this is what we would have done, but we might say this is what we would have done, and then Netflix might say, like, no, we don't like that. Do it this way.
Yeah.
Netflix they don't create haunted houses, but they do have final say in what they want their house to look like.
Yeah.
And
I want to bring this up too. By the way, Jim Daniels, the 25 for the Hondo Treat Fund. Our man Hondo's got a lot of treats right now, and we've been spoiling him a little bit. Yeah. We've been feeling bad because we're gonna fly out, leave him behind. Yeah. So we've been giving him lots of tweets. But Jim, thank you for the $25 Hondo Treat Fund. My man's gonna be eating good. But I want to bring this up real quick. I know we're going to be getting into the Hollywood segment here soon, but Robbie said, my biggest issues with Stranger Things house are that the running up the hill is so quiet.
It is really quiet.
Which I get because everybody wants to hear it, but that is perfectly executed. Because
she can barely hear it when she's in there.
When you're in Vecna's mind, it's not like blaring subwoofers and, like Vecna's dancing to... No. It's like you barely can hear it. It's where that thing that's what gets her away from Vecna. She hears it slightly, and then she sees the portal of her friends and stuff. And that's what saves her, because then she fully dives into that, where, of course, when you watch the show, it's blurring, but that's not how it is in that situation.
I agree, but I also think it would have been cooler for the fans to have it be loud.
Yeah. Like I said, like your devil's advocate thing, it works because if you want it to be perfect to what it was that like in that moment, that's exactly how it was. But if you want to play it more to the fans, you got to drop that a little bit more for that. So I will say that. And then on top of that, even going on with his comment here, he said there needs to be a scare in the Dustin and Eddie scene. I'm going to play both parts of that. Devil's advocate, if you do that, you got to think everybody's so focused on Dustin and Eddie, you're not going to see what's over here because you're like this.
Yeah.
So it's really hard. But that's why
that was like a big issue in the Weekend House last year. There were scare actors in the one room where he's on the stage, and half the time they didn't even get looked at because he's up on the stage doing his thing, and everybody's back is to them.
Yeah. So that would be hard. But what I think, instead of doing that screen, I really wanted practical things going on. Because when you walk in, I wish I could like show you guys like had a hologram. But when you walk into that scene, immediately you have the trailer right in front of you, right? About my chest height, right in front of you with Dustin and Eddie. And behind them is a screen with the bats flying over. But everything right over here, there's nothing. If they, instead of doing that screen, made it practical and had bats flying overhead, that would have brought your attention not just on Dustin and Eddie, but to also drift a little more upward, which brings this peripheral area into view. So when you're coming around that trailer, that first turn, because you're walking that direction, you could have a scare actor with the bat come out a little bit and stuff. So it feels like you're being attacked by the bats as well.
Would you have this character be a bat?
It could be like a puppet.
Okay.
Right? Like you have like one of the puppets and stuff. And I would even say, if the budget is fine, let's put 3 scare actors on that side and they both have bats that they could bring in. And it just, you feel like, oh my, on this side, like you're getting attacked. So you're also in their moment too, like in their shoes of what they're fighting. Because I feel like that scene's great, but I feel like they're too free up there where I want them to feel like
in danger.
Yes, I want them to feel like they're being more combative against the bats, and you are caught in the middle of that.
I also do wonder if I almost said Hollywood, if Netflix like doesn't want it to be like scary, like if they almost want it to be more of a like just a showpiece.
Yeah, but I'd be surprised if that was the case, because
like
season 4 to me is a little more.
Yeah, but they're like Stranger Things experience and the like all the marketing stuff that they've done. It's not like this is a horror,
I get where you're saying. I doubt it. I hope not, because they're at Halloween Horror Nights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
And if that's the route they're taking, it's like then they're losing. They're like, no, we don't want to scare people. It's like, I'm sorry, but then get out. Get out of here. So that's what I say. Also, Jim Daniels, the Hollywood Treat Fund. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All right, Jim, no more, please. We appreciate you. Thank you. You're very kind. You don't have to do that. But yes, one thing we are excited for, even more than
you guys will
the
be,
houses, is the food.
You guys will be so surprised. I haven't really looked at the food for Hollywood.
We don't know about HHN Hollywood. Period. So
We're terrible.
I think this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna pause the Orlando discussion and segment.
Okay.
We'll pick up that in another live stream and see how that goes and all.
Or after if we have time.
Yeah, we might dive into it after if we have time and stuff. But with Jim saying Hollywood treat, let's dive into Hollywood and like start discussing HHN Hollywood. We'll go ahead and we'll pause the Orlando discussion, and we'll go ahead and pick that up another time, talk about that, and either in tonight's live stream or in another live stream. And I do want to say this: if you guys are just joining us, what's up? How's it going, guys? We're going to be diving into the Hollywood portion of tonight's live stream because in less than 48 hours, we're actually going to be out there on the West Coast for our very first ever HHN Hollywood experience. Ever. It's going to be our first time. We'll be there Thursday and Friday, and then we'll be out on the West Coast doing some other things until we get back next week, Thursday. So we won't be having a live stream until possibly next weekend. We might do one on Saturday, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. So we right now, after tonight, it's going to be at least a week and a half until our next live stream. So it'll be a little bit of time until we get back here and talk with. Unless I know she's
I'm looking
at food, so I've lost Stephanie already. But one thing I've been thinking about is doing a live stream out on the West Coast. Would you guys be interested in us doing a HHN Hollywood live stream?
How would you do that?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I just want to see if you guys are interested in that. Spam in the chat. Whatever. Just say, That's what I want to see. But Jim Daniels, again, with the 100. Thank you so much, my man. And pulling us into the transition. What's up?
There's a Rouse? What's Rouse?
There's a what?
I don't know. Chris said that.
Is that the sauce brand?
That's what I thought. I will say I did see videos and pictures of the little Demogorgon pizza, and that looks really cute.
Yeah, we'll try to get that.
I don't love like a lot of sauce on my pizza, and it looks like there's a lot of sauce on it, but we will still try it.
Also, to give you guys reference on the idea that I have for the live stream, it will not be at HHN Hollywood. It'll be not on Thursday because we fly on Thursday, but it'll probably be on Friday, our second day, and we might do it like in the hotel before we actually go into the event. Kind of like a pre-HHN live stream, possibly. That's probably what I'm thinking of on my mind. Just because, like, in the park, and I know a couple people, they're like, oh, live stream it in the park. That's content I can never, like, edit or use down the road. So it's just the live. Yeah. And I can't control what happens in there. At least with the video format, we can get a bunch of these clips that we can use for years and years and years and be able to upload it and watch it as a video format.
Yeah, maybe like a pre-game live stream.
Yeah, like pre HHN live.
Either that, or if we don't have time and we just end up like having extra time while we're like getting to the park and waiting around and stuff, I might take Brian's phone and do an Instagram live.
You can't have
like
my
Robbie
phone.
said.
Can't have it. It's mine. Oh yeah. We may do like an Instagram live.
Yeah,
maybe
while
even
we're like chilling, wing.
Yeah, maybe even inside the park, like during the event, like late at night, for just chilling around somewhere. Yeah, having some food. Might do something like that. So, but I got a couple people interested in it.
They have the cordyceps corn dog
over there.
Yeah.
Y'all know I love that.
I wonder if it'll be the same though. I feel like they make things differently.
Yeah. We're looking at all the food now. So let's talk about Hollywood. HHN Hollywood. So we'll be there Thursday and Friday. We got 2 days.
Also, I will say that
never mind.
Their pizza fries do not look like they could hold a candle to our pizza fries.
Yeah, their pizza fries look like they suck.
I don't know if we'll get those. I like them nice and like crispy and burnt, like ours are. Anyway, go ahead.
No, by all means.
No, go ahead.
I know you're looking at the food and you're talking about. I don't want to interrupt your food moment.
No, I'm done.
You sure? Go ahead. We can talk about food.
Also, yes, if you are going to Orlando, try the corn dog. It's really good.
Yeah, and don't trust Laura, not from Orlando. She said she didn't like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, don't trust her.
Some people don't like it. I think if you don't like mushroom, you might not like it because the sauce is very mushroomy.
Yeah, but see, I don't like mushroom, but I don't taste it. It tastes like garlic to me.
I taste mushroom.
I feel like garlic would be even better on it. But I know they're trying to keep it, like that, but...
We did not try the Oddfellow hot dog.
No, not yet.
I will not be eating that thing.
We will be doing a food video for HHN Orlando when we do come back, though. We have a couple of videos planned up and ready. We just have to get the free time to actually film them, which we never do. So, but yeah, so HHN Hollywood will be there Thursday and Friday, both nights. We don't have Express Pass. We just have a standard ticket, and we went ahead and got the early entry ticket for both days for both Steph and I. So it allows us, I think, access into the park at 5:30, right? Is it like an hour and a half before park or the event starts? So we get access with the early access one. Mm-hmm. However, even when I was talking with somebody out there in Universal and I was reading it online, it seems like I was getting two different answers, and I don't really know how this works. But with the early entry ticket, they said we are allowed access into the lower lot starting at 5:30. But I was like, but the lower lot's already inside the park. How do I get inside the park? And they said we need a regular ticket. So I was like, okay, well, I don't have that. So how do I get access into the lower lot where I don't have access to the park? So it was kind of a confusing segment that I had for like 20 minutes or so. But any of you guys know?
Yeah,
help us, because we're also trying to figure out, since we have early entry allows you access to the lower lot from what I'm hearing. So I really want to get as much as we can done because we don't have Express. And from what I'm hearing, the lines in Hollywood have been ridiculous, like super long, and so long to the fact that they've even closed the lines down.
Yeah.
And it's got us a little worried because, Express is sold out. We were looking into it, but it's too much. We don't have financially right now. We don't have the ability to do that. So I was like, well, at least even if it's an hour-long wait, we'll do it. We'll wait for it because we've never been there. So the sights will be really cool. The sounds are all different to us. And the weather is going to be so much better where I'm fine. Like, I'm cool. We'll bundle up. We'll enjoy it. I'm excited for that. But which house should we do as our first house in Hollywood? Like, what should our route be? Because the first day, that Thursday, when we plan to be out there, we are going to be filming for one of our videos for you guys. But we want to try to knock out everything we can that first night house-wise for you guys to see, because the second night, we're still up in the air if we want to film or not. We may just want to be able to enjoy it on our own.
Also, yeah, let us know. But someone asked what our hype list is, and I think that would be a good thing to go over. Also, yes, the Express Pass is extremely expensive for us to upgrade because they're sold out of the regular Express Pass and the Unlimited Express Pass. So what we would have to do is the entry after 2 p.m. with Express. That does include your early entry, your whole ticket, and Express Pass. So it sounds expensive. I mean, it is expensive. It's $350 before tax per person for one night.
Per night, yeah.
So for us to add it on, like, general admission is not expensive there.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna say this, that $350 that's a steal. Like $350, it's a lot, but $350 to have early access at 2 p.m., to have an admission to Horror Nights, and to have Express, it's not that bad. It's not. But
it does add up.
It adds up when you have two of us.
Yeah.
$700 for 2 nights only. and it's a little more expensive on Friday. But for just 2 nights, that comes out to $1,400 plus, which is the amount that I spent for our Frequent Fear Plus Pass and
With
Express here. So it is expensive. It adds up, and that's why we were looking at it. The difference for us to pay per day would be $550.
Yeah.
Per person?
No. That's for both of us for one
day.
night.
Yeah, so it'd be like an additional like $1,100 for us. And that's why we're like, I don't know if we want to spend that much because we want to put the money towards food.
If we ever get to get the food, because we're just going to be in lines all night.
We'll see. And that's the thing. We always say this, and this is a great conversation to have with you guys, because we've always been on this side of the camera telling you guys, hey, this is what you guys should do. This is the best things to do with HHN Orlando. But since we've never been to Hollywood at all, right? Never been to Hollywood. We're kind of like looking at you guys like, all right, what do we do? Like, what's the best thing? How should we do this? Real quick, because the one thing I always tell you guys, get Express if you can here. It's awesome. But the best thing is to have more than one night. Do as many nights as you possibly can. I'd rather go to the event 2 nights without Express than go 1 night with Express, just because I want more nights there. So that's what we ended up doing with Hollywood, is we got 2 nights to be able to experience HHN. And we got the base ticket with the early entry. Which was what, $10 per person? It's $40 that we did. So
anyway.
Yeah,
it
also,
is.
Yes, Six Flags, $15 on Sunday.
It is crazy. But we are doing 2 nights. So hopefully, if worst comes to worst, we do 4 houses one night, 4 houses the other night, maybe the Terror Tram. I would like to see the Purge show, because we saw like little like tidbits of it, and I think it looks really cool. However, if it's anything like Nightmare Fuel here is, we know that show can eat up a good like hour and a half of your time. Just waiting for it, getting sat down, the actual show, and then getting out. It can take so long. So I think that'll be something like, if we're feeling good, we're able to, knock a few houses out with like the early entry, and we're feeling really good, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be like a super long wait, then we might do that. Just because it looks pretty cool, and we've never seen Waterworld like during the day, so I think it'd be cool to see, especially
if we can do it. And I know like some of you guys are saying, like, split it. We've had a lot of people message me too saying, well, if you're doing 2 nights, like just kind of like split it up. And we've talked about it where it's like, okay, we can do these houses this night and then these houses the next night. But what I'm really hoping for is that with Steph and I, since we never been out there, we don't want to spend our only days we are going to HHN Hollywood in our first time ever just filming, carrying the cameras around and working on it. That's why we would what we're trying to focus is if we can at least do all 8 houses the first night and get that on video, knock that out. That'll be our video, quick, just get it, awesome. So that the next day when we're there, if we decide to take the camera, we do. If not, we can at least enjoy the other things we never got a chance to see, and do other things we liked a second time.
Exactly. And I know Brian said if don't wait longer than 20 minutes for Blumhouse. Honestly, unless we have like a lot of extra time somehow, I don't know that we'll do Blumhouse. We saw videos of it, and like, we're not the biggest Blumhouse fans to begin with. I feel like the Megan thing is pretty much what we have here, so I don't think we'll do that.
Yeah. We won't. Period.
Yeah.
We do have tickets for Blumfest coming up October 6th from 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., followed by a walkthrough of the Exorcist house. But
Wait, what? You get to go through the Exorcist house?
After 6:30, the event starts, and we can go into overnights.
I thought it was part of it. I was
maybe.
Like,
I don't know. It might be. I don't know. That'd be really cool. But yeah, so that day we plan to do a video actually and show you guys, by the way.
Oh,
Blumfest.
Cool. Didn't know that. Nice.
Well, now you know. But so yeah, which I don't know if anybody said it. I haven't been able to read I know you're on the chat. What should be your first house? Because we have to start with the lower lot. Since that's what they were telling us. Since we have the early entry, it only allows us access into the lower lot.
Brian said Last of Us opens at 5:45 and Stranger Things opens at 5:30. So maybe Stranger Things.
I see. That's like that's information like I don't know.
I think that's because
That'd be
it's
great.
not like he had also said that get through security by 4 p.m. as they let early entry in at 5 p.m. on Sunday. They had let early entry in at 5.
Okay.
So I'm sure we'll be there as early as we possibly can because we're going to be so nervous about missing out on something or like messing up or getting lost.
Our flight lands, I think, at like 9
a.m.
Like 9 a.m. in the morning on the West Coast. So we're going to go straight to the hotel. And if we have time, maybe take a nap. We might take a nap. Unless we pass out on the plane. But at the moment we get a chance, we got the equipment. We're gonna go straight to the park, even if it's like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Just because we've never been, we may explore and look around.
Just look around.
And even to get video, I might want to stop every 5 feet. Be like,
yeah.
Look at this. So we'll see how that goes.
Chris said after watching a ton of Hollywood vlogs, I would make The Last of Us the first house. Just because of the lines, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Now, here's a question I have too. Because The Last of Us is technically a tent. If we go through it at the time it opens up, is it going to be too bright in there? Because I know from past Hollywood videos I've seen years ago, they've always said that some of the tent houses has that light
because it like comes in
kind of casting through. Yeah.
I don't know.
Will that kill our experience?
Brian said on Thursday hit the lower lot 12:30 to 1, and the lines go way down for all those houses.
So like towards the end of the night.
Yeah. Because of the production. Oh, because you think it's like the best house, maybe? Do that one first. Stranger Things looks like it has that light issue. So maybe not Stranger Things.
I don't know.
I will say we do, we have watched some things, like we know what houses there are, so we could at least talk about our hype list.
Yeah, maybe we do that. What is our hype list?
We're like sitting here like
I'm trying to
like
think
we're
in my
supposed to
mind.
be the ones like
Yeah. We have not done any planning for Hollywood, guys.
Anyway, I think
It's just giving me
honestly my like least anticipated are the ones that we have here because we have them here. Does that make sense?
I'm sorry, what?
My least anticipated. Like my least anticipated is probably Chucky.
Really? Surprise.
Are you?
No.
And then I don't know, Stranger Things. I think. And then The Last of Us. I know that people are saying those are really good, but I'm excited to see something that we don't have.
Oh man, this is so hard. My head hurts. What is your number one most? You're the one that you're most anticipating out of all of them.
Evil Dead Rise.
Evil Dead Rise.
I wanted that house here so bad.
Yeah, I think Evil Dead Rise is probably also my top one. I'm excited for Holidays in Hell. I'm excited for the Monstrous house. I'm not excited for the Classic Monsters Unmasked house there because I love ours here. So I'm just like, I don't think that one's going to be like ours. So I'm a little worried about that one. I've heard Stranger Things is good out there. Better, I would say. The Last of Us is better out there. And the Chucky house is better out there. I've also heard the Exorcist house is terrifying out there.
Really?
But I don't think the quality is going to be as good as ours. So I think Exorcist, I'm going to have kind of mid-tier. I think, really, the way I'm going to say this, like with the hype list, I don't think I have like an 8th place house, a 7th place house in a sense. No. I think it's low tier, mid-tier, and like high tier. The high tiers is the Evil Dead Rise, the Holidays in Hell, and the Monstros. The Latin America one, just because those are ones we don't have.
Yeah.
Mid-tier are the ones we do have, like Stranger Things, Last of Us, and Exorcist, but then Monsters is surprisingly lower for me.
Which I honestly,
and Chucky.
I honestly think like Evil Dead Rise and Holidays, us being excited for those might work to our advantage because, and I haven't really been keeping up with like the lines and stuff over there, but I know Hollywood has had holidays previously. I don't know how different it is this year, or if it is different. And Evil Dead Rise is pretty much a carbon copy of the horror hotel from last year. So I don't know. I feel like those might not be as popular, but
I see what you're saying.
But I don't know. I haven't been looking at like the wait times and stuff.
I want it to be, high quality, which I do think these are obviously going to be high quality. I don't want to see black walls. That's what we know in Hollywood from what we've heard. I don't want to see that. I haven't really heard that much this year, so I'm cool with that. But I just want energy. And I know the scare actors bring a lot of that. So I'm really hoping to see that. What I really want is I want to walk out of some of these houses in Horror Nights and even walk up to them kind of terrified. I kind of want to be a little nervous about the situation I'm getting myself in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And honestly, like, what I'm thinking is when we do the houses, because you can film in the houses in Hollywood. I don't think I'm going to showcase the houses. I may flip the camera around and showcase just Brian's scare cam to see, because I've never been, excuse me, by the way, guys,
Your face might be too dark.
Sick. You think so?
You
If
might
you can
get,
see
like,
the
flashes
house.
of light.
Anyways, I'll try filming at that. Would you guys prefer that? Would you guys prefer us when we go through the house to film the house? Because I don't really care to actually film in the house. I might want to soak it in. But if we do, would you want us to film the house of our perspective, or flip it and film reactions? What would you guys like to see if we do that?
Brian scare cam, Shanna said. Brian had also said Monstrose gets really busy at 1 a.m. when people come up from the lower lot.
Okay. I've heard a lot of people say, like, the upper lot, if you hit that up first thing, as soon as it opens up, you can knock those out pretty quick because the lower lot's busy. But that's the one thing about the early entry is that we get that head start, but we're stuck in the lower lot where everybody else is. I was really hoping, like, we can knock out those houses in the upper lot that are not busy and then just wait out the night in the lower lot when it is busy.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fine. I hate starting the day off at the event when it's really busy. And, like, we did one house for that segment that we paid extra for.
to, like, knock them out.
Yeah, it's like the amount that we paid for with early entry. I'd love to say that we did 2-3 houses before the event opened up. And that's what you knock out here in Orlando.
Yeah.
So,
Crystal and Andrew said, if you have time for a second run, but otherwise, like, for the first one, just enjoy it. And some other people are saying that too, like, don't record, because we have done the whole recording in the houses last year in Orlando, and I will say, like, that first night I didn't see a single house.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because you're just looking through the like viewfinder, the little like screen on your camera, like you can't see anything. So maybe we don't record in the houses unless we're doing a second run through.
Yeah.
Or you could pull it out for like
and to be honest, like, I really, like, don't care to film in the houses when we're out there because I really do want to watch it. But the only thing that I think of is if I film in those houses, that is actual, like, clips I could use for projects down the road. You know what I'm saying? Like, have B-roll of those scenes for some future videos. Because, like, next year we plan to talk about HHN Hollywood a little bit more, because we do plan to go to Hollywood every year if possible. And kind of make that a yearly travel trip for us. But I don't know. That might be like a last minute decision if I decide to pull it out. Yeah. I may even, like, turn the camera on and just hold it at my chest, and, like, whatever I get is what I get, if it's even good or not, and then, like, watch it. But
that could also be if you're doing the selfie version, like, you're just holding it, but you're still, like, looking at like the house.
Oh no.
This will literally be like us walking into the house, and he's gonna be like, ah!
What do we do? What do we do? Ah! And then we go through the house, and I'm like, ah! And still trying to make a decision and freaking out. And I'm like, I don't remember the house, and I didn't capture any video. It's ruined. Well, let's go back into it real quick. It's 125-minute wait.
Yeah, right. Chris said GoPro on the forehead.
Oh, man. We'll
That's
see.
funny.
Maybe we'll see. What I might do even is on the second night, I may bring the camera on the second night just to get video in the house.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I just want to see what you guys thought.
See if we have like.
It seems like you guys are like real people where you're like, oh yes, get the video. No, you're like, I want you guys to enjoy it, which like we appreciate it, to be honest. Like seeing you guys say like, no, we want you guys to enjoy it and stuff. That does mean a lot. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It takes the pressure off my chest, but then it also makes me feel like I'm not doing my job in capturing the footage that we need for clips and stuff.
It'll be fine.
It's the angel and the devil on the shoulder
Yeah.
fighting. Also, let's talk HHN Fright Club member for 2 months now. Extra. We got a bounty of victims of the face-carving killer found near the Paris Opera House.
I don't think that was.
That was not good at all.
French
I'm
accent.
sorry. Can you do a French accent read on that?
I'm not going to try.
My boy, I can't. I'm tired. I'm also very sick, so that's not gonna work. Extra. I love that part of the house, though.
Yeah, me too. Oh, we also got a $9.99 from Vanessa.
A $9.99.
A $9.99.
A $9.99.
I'll be heading to LA this weekend and going to Hollywood Sunday night. I got the 2 p.m. day-night express pass. Hollywood, it's more hype and in your face. It's worth it to compare both coasts. Yeah.
Nice. There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for the $9.99. But hey, let us know also how since you're gonna do the 2 p.m. day and night with express. After you do that, let us know like how it is, because when we do next year's planning for HHN Hollywood, if we do decide to go, we might be taking that route, because I'd like to also do some of the daytime stuff.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to do that this year, unfortunately.
No, we just won't have time. Like, we would have loved to do, 2 weeks and do a whole week of HHN and a whole week of Disneyland.
What did you say?
Sorry.
What was that last bit? You're gonna start them up here in a minute.
I know. But I only get 1 week off for work, so we kind of had to make it work with our one trip out to Hollywood or to California. So, and the price for the hotels in Hollywood were ridiculous.
They only have those two right next to the.
If we wanted to do because we talked about doing 3 nights at HHN, and the price for general admission is not bad.
No.
But the price for the hotels, it was gonna be an extra $500 for a Saturday night there. So we were like, forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we would have liked to do Universal during the daytime. However, we're flying in and that night going to HHN. And then I'm assuming the next day we'll probably be sleeping in pretty late, if my body will allow me, and then going to HHN. So we don't really have time to do Universal during the day.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna edit the video while we're out there for Hollywood. I had some people message me too asking will we get that up quick? We won't edit that until we get back from our West Coast trip. We'll try to go ahead and get that up as quick as I can once we get back, just because, like Steph said, our kind of the theme for this year has been we don't have enough time.
Yeah.
So
Brian did say that Jurassic Park ride has been walk-ons during HHN.
That'd be cool, but you do get wet on that, and I don't think I want to get wet with how cold it is out in the West Coast.
Cold.
We say it's cold. 70 degrees would be a little chill here for us, and at nights I've heard it's been in the 60s, and that is cold for us.
That is very cold.
Because we've been having 90 plus, 100 plus in the weather here, and it's been humid and all. So even just going out there in the dryness when it's 65, it's gonna be cold.
Yeah.
So I really want to do that ride. Don't get me wrong, but I think we'll pass.
I do think 60 here is way colder than 60 out there, because here the humidity makes the temperature being a little bit lower feel colder than it is.
Yeah.
So maybe it won't be that cold.
BFO 2023, never got time.
Still definitely going to take sweatshirts and pants.
Yeah. Also, Vanessa, thank you, though, by the way, for the
Yeah, thank you.
Let us know, though. Send us a message on how that goes, because if so, that's something we'll put in our books for next year, for sure. We just, It's one of those things, like, we've always wanted to go to HHN Hollywood, but it's just like never really been a top priority. And this year we're like, we're gonna make it happen regardless. And of course the house and everything we got. So we at least just got general admission. We just want to see the event and we'll be able to experience it. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a great time. We've been hearing great things about it, and this is something we've been wanting to do. So we're gonna be able to showcase that and have some fun and show you guys the video. And I really hope that it turns out well, because whenever it comes to us going on trips and filming it, we always have some kind of technical issue with the camera or the audio all the time. So what I'm just praying is that no matter what happens, we don't have any technical issues where I can get all the footage and we can just show you guys.
Hopefully you'll get a video. Even if it's just
hopefully you'll get a video.
Even if it's just us like, okay, we're here. Okay, now we're over here.
We're going in this house.
Now we're over
Good night,
here.
everybody. Thanks for watching.
It'll be like our media night from 2 years ago or last year.
Yeah.
Because that was like
hectic.
Oh, we're going over here. Now we're going over here. And then all of a sudden we're just like, okay, it's over.
Hi, everyone. We're beat. It's past 2 o'clock. It's 2:30. Here's what we thought of this house we did back at 10 p.m. We just haven't had the time.
I don't remember it because I'm delirious.
It was great. Loved it. Had a good time.
Yeah.
Right. Also, GSU John with the 10 saying, "Hey guys, joining super late, but we are going tomorrow and are trying to figure out where to start our night. Have Stay and Scream and Express."
In Orlando.
I'm assuming this is Orlando.
He said Orlando.
Yeah, it's Orlando. This is what we would do. I prefer, first of all, you have Stay and Scream and Express, right? My question to you is, what kind of night are you trying to have? Because are you just doing one night? I'm going to assume that, let's say this is your only night. You know, I would just enjoy it. Like, relax. Don't feel like you need to sprint anywhere. I would start with Dueling Dragons. Do the New York Stay and Scream. Once you get into New York Stay and Scream, what we do is we chill in Louis. We chill in Louis' restaurant in the Stay and Scream line, or in the Stay and Scream holding area, and we just chill there. It's got AC. We're out of the sun. We're relaxed. Once the houses open up, which is 5:15 for Exorcist, Stranger Things, and Dueling Dragons, around 5:20 to 5:30, we go hit up Dueling Dragons standby. There usually isn't any wait for the standby, 10 minutes, if that, right? Mm-hmm. Because then we save an express pass usage for later in the night, because it'll be better to run through later in the night for that house. But then we go into Stranger Things immediately after with our express. I know we've always been telling people, don't use express pass when you do Stay and Scream, save it for later. But this is one of those houses that has a long line in the start. It'll have a long line throughout the night.
Unless you are like, we want to do Stranger Things more than once.
Yeah. Then sure.
Maybe do that one first.
But this is kind of what I recommend, to have a chill night and to be able to kind of do everything in one night. Then I would use Express Pass for Stranger Things, because I prefer that house during the day where it's still hard to see in the houses. So you don't see those details that drive me nuts, at least. I think Stranger Things is better during the day than it is at night. So we do that with Express. And then we immediately go over to The Exorcist. And we usually do our Express and just get it done, because we don't plan to do houses multiple times in the night. We live here. We go all the time. So it's one of those things where, hey, maybe we can do Exorcist as a standby, possibly. Because when we did it recently, The Exorcist on Friday night, last Friday night when we were there, was like a walk-on for standby. You can see that line. So if that's the case where you see there is nobody in the standby line, go ahead and do it and save the Express. But we did Express, knock it out, because by the time we got done with those 3 houses, it was just 6 o'clock and the event was just opening up. We went straight to Yeti, and you can use Express Pass for Yeti then. And so you would have 4 houses done by 6:15.
We did this the other night, and we got all 10 houses done with like stopping for food here and there.
And chatting and hanging out.
By like 10 o'clock.
Yeah. And we got all 10 houses done by 10 o'clock with us not using an Express Pass for Dragons or Exorcist yet. Yeah. So we were able to do those houses again with our Express Pass. And that gives you plenty of time to go see Nightmare Fuel, to also check out the food booths and stuff like that. Check out the Tribute Store. That's what I would do. So.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, if you don't have Express, that's going to change a little bit. Because by the time we get out of Dueling Dragons, you get in the standby line for Stranger Things, it's already probably 45 minutes. And then by the time you get out of Stranger Things, everything else is up to an hour by then.
Yeah. The only time I would say it's really worth it is if you really want to knock things out, you're going from beginning to end full speed, I would go and get in line for Stranger Things in the Stanscream area. But that's as soon as you get access into the park, which I think is 3 p.m. As soon as you get access into the park at 3 p.m., right, you're there, you scan in your early entry, you walk straight to the New York Stanscream locations, which you have to head towards San Francisco, like by Transformers and go that way because they block off the New York area for it. So you go over there, you get in line, and you're one of the first people in line for Stranger Things. So that once they open, and it's going to be a long wait, and you're out in the sun, but once they open that up at 5:15, you're one of the first people in there. You can knock it out. You can easily knock out Dueling Dragons and Exorcist then, and you're ahead of the game. That's only if you want to stand out in the sun. That's why we recommend doing it our way, because we hang out in Louis in the shade until everything opens up, and then use our express pass to get ahead of everybody. That's what I do. But John, thank you for the 10, my man. Hopefully you actually enjoy it tomorrow. And thanks for joining the live stream, by the way. Yes, it's super late, but that's what HHN is. This to us is morning for all of us ghouls in the night.
Yeah.
But you got Stanscream, you have Express. You're just doing one night, but don't worry, because Stanscream and Express combined is going to give you the ability to knock everything out with no rush at all.
Easily.
Yeah, enjoy your time. So
just don't just look at the wait times and don't get in like an express line if like the standby is like 2.5 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
Because you're probably going to wait a while in express.
Chris said this chap's suddenly feeling like the family. We are a family. So, nice. I know we talked about Hollywood, but I still feel like we've gotten zero progress with our discussion.
How early do you have to be there if you want prime parking? Do you mean like good parking, or do you mean like paying for the upgrade prime?
I do not recommend paying for prime parking.
No. At
all. It's not much. Like the cost is a lot, and the difference of the regular parking and prime parking is a big difference. And money wise that you could save for the event, it's not that long of a walk because it's in a parking garage.
Yeah.
So it's just like elevation, which they have escalators and all that stuff.
And that also kind of answers the question, like just for good parking, honestly, you could get there at 10 a.m. or noon or 2 p.m. and still get terrible parking. Brian and I get terrible parking every single time we go, no matter how early we get there, because it really is like the luck of the draw, whether you get put on like this side or that side, which floor you get put on, and how far back you are, because that's really the kicker, is like if you get put to the very back of the line, which like it just depends on when you get there. So
yeah,
I wouldn't say there's really I would definitely get there before 4:30 though, because the other day we got there around 4:30 and the actual like ticket booths to get in were really backed up. So I would try to get there by like 3:30, 4 o'clock at the latest.
For what?
To park.
But what if you have a Scream Early ticket? You can get access into...
you could go earlier, but that's the latest that I would get there.
Okay. Yeah. Respect that.
Yeah.
So, yet again, I'm going to bring this back. What's going to be our first house at HHN Hollywood?
The Last of Us? I don't know.
Oh, no. So what we may end up doing
I need to do some more research tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's our last day before we fly out. We're going to be doing a lot of research into Hollywood and trying to figure out a plan. So all the tips that you guys can give us would be greatly appreciated. And especially because I know you guys are doing it in the chat here. I don't have the time to go through all the comments here. But at the end of this video, once the live stream is done, you can leave a comment in the chat the comment box, right? Leave a comment there because I'll be able to go back in and look at it. So any of you guys that are watching this now or rewatching it later, if you can, leave any tips that you can for Hollywood, because they're going to be greatly appreciated, because we are literally walking into this event blind. I have no idea what we're going to do first. Like, I've never seen the map or layout of this park either.
We have, briefly. Watch it on Hotline's video. That's
true, but I don't remember it.
I know it's like this.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Orlando is this. Everything is right here. In Hollywood, it's like it's layered. So it's like, okay, there's a map for this up here. There's a map for that, and one where we're at. That's going to be interesting. I'm excited for it, guys. I really am. I just I don't know. We'll see. And no, we're not going to go to Nintendo World, by the way. We're just focusing on HHN. We're strictly HHN people. We want HHN.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. I think what we'll do is we'll do that. If you guys leave us the tips and stuff in the comments, that'd be great. And then even in our Discord, we have an HHN Hollywood section in Discord. We'll probably, I know we've been MIA with Discord recently. We've just been so busy and trying to get all the other stuff done. We promise we'll get back into all of that. Check that section in Discord out, because we may pop in there and ask for some tips too on Discord. Yeah,
that actually would have been smart to have the after 2 p.m. pass to even just go in and walk around and get like oriented.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You might see us there like, hey, we just dropped the rest of our life savings. No.
This is so stressful. Like one thing I'm worried about too is that we end up going and then we're like, screw it, we'll drop the $1,000 to do this. And then we go through the night and it's like, we did not need to do that.
Yeah, watch that happen. Oh, I don't know. I'm a big impulse buyer, so I'm gonna be like researching it while I'm working tomorrow and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, then I'm coming out of the bathroom and I'll brush my teeth and stuff's like, I bought it. What did you
It's like that TikTok audio where it's like, don't do it, girl.
I'm not gonna do it.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm just thinking about it. I'm not gonna do it. I did it. Yeah.
I'm gonna need to sleep for the entire day tomorrow just to get through.
Chris's question was, are you eating peanuts, pretzels, or cookies on the plane? Hopefully those Biscoff cookies.
When we did our Alaska trip, they had Biscoff cookies, and that was great.
And they gave us as many as we wanted.
And speaking of food, Miss Valerie Burns here in the fish with the 1999 saying, enjoy your time in Hollywood. Try some food on me and the fish.
I don't think there was a
no, we're going to call them the fish. Super curious about their food. Valerie, we appreciate you so much, you and the fish for the 1999. You guys don't have to do it, but we appreciate you guys. And we will try some food. We'll try some food just for you guys.
Yeah.
Just for you guys. And of course, Jim. But I am excited for Hollywood. I do think we're going to have a great time regardless. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the atmosphere. I'm looking for the energy. I'm looking for the weather, because we don't have that over here. It feels like fall, I guess. At least when I look at the weather app, I'm like, it looks like fall weather for us here, you know? So I'm excited for that. It'll be our first time ever. And I'm really hoping that Steph and I can capture somewhat of a decent video, at least, for you guys to be able to check out our first experience out in HHN Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Because it's going to come and go just like that.
Oh, yeah. I caught myself yesterday. I was driving home from the gym and I caught myself getting sad. Like, oh, in a week it'll be over.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that.
Man. Oh. Okay, bye.
On that note.
So what we're looking forward to, we're going to have that time. We're going to be able to film it. I'm also going to go ahead and keep up with you guys on Discord. I'm going to try to. No promises. But we'll also kind of float around with the idea of doing probably a pre-HHN live stream, maybe on Friday before the second night. Thinking about it, no promises on that one. We just got to make sure we have all the equipment. I don't know how much I'm going to take over there. But or
we'll jump on
an Instagram live.
Instagram live. So I think
just do that.
I think it normally gives people notifications when like anyone that you're following goes live on Instagram, right?
Yeah, I think so. If you have notifications
if you're
on.
following Brian, you should, if you have notifications on.
Yeah, so maybe what we'll end up doing is doing a Instagram live. So if you guys follow us on Instagram, if you don't, check us out. Same handle and everything, Brian from Orlando. We may do like an Instagram live, maybe when we're out there, just to chat just for a little bit and stuff like that.
Yep.
And then hopefully next week, when we do get back from our West Coast trip, we'll go ahead and edit and try to get that video up for you guys.
Yeah.
So spread the word. Let your family know. We're going to Hollywood.
Yeah.
But I know it's an hour and 48 minutes in tonight's live stream. And this is technically still kind of a short live stream compared to what we've been doing. But I think we're going to start wrapping it up tonight.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I'm sick and we fly out in 2 days and I'm trying to rest. And we do need to get a lot of things done before we leave. So we're going to try to rest up as much as we can. But I want to appreciate all of you guys for the continuous support, for joining us in tonight's live, for all of you guys that were also in Saturday's live, for all the donations and the comments, and also all the tips and helping us for Hollywood. We'll figure it out. If not, you'll be able to see it on video how we didn't figure it out. That's the question. So, with that being said, we are going to wrap up tonight's live stream with Hollywood and some of Orlando's conversations in there.
Chris, I just told my kids that BFO was going to Hollywood, and what is it? And they were like, "Who? Oh, those Disney vloggers." Yeah, that's us.
We're secretly a Disney channel.
Our one Disney video every year.
Yeah, but you guys don't realize we're secretly a very popular Disney channel you guys don't know of. Mm-hmm. We are the Disney Channel. All right, I think with that being said, I think we have to wrap it up now. So, ladies and gents, thanks for joining us tonight. But with that being said, that is going to do it for us in this video. And until the next one, we look forward to catch you guys there. And anybody who's going to be in Hollywood, keep an eye out for us. Because we'll be the people that look lost and confused. So come and help. So with that being said, that's it. We'll see y'all later. Good night, folks.
Bye. I felt weird.
Oh, how do you want to?
You didn't say catch you guys in the fall. Peace out, everybody.
Hold up.
Funny thing is I can't hear any music, so you're just doing that to silence.
You know, I can't hear it either. The AirPod's dead on mine, so I don't hear the music.